vision of your plans, but to the resonance of your being. Ancient practice of sensory manifestation. Find stillness each morning as the world awakens. Close your eyes and step into the reality you wish to create. Let every sense awaken to this vision. Feel the texture of success against your skin. Breathe in the scent of achievement. Hear the sounds of your dreams manifesting. Allow your body to experience the gratitude and joy of your desire fulfilled. Hold this feeling state until your cells hum with its frequency. This is not mere visualization. It is vibrational preparation for what must come. This practice transforms the quiet of morning into a sacred threshold between what is and what can be. In that stillness, before the mind fills with tasks and noise, your awareness becomes a bridge to creation. By immersing your senses in the reality you long to experience, you dissolve the illusion of distance between dream and manifestation. Each breath becomes an act of alignment, tuning your inner world to the rhythm of what you are calling forth. The body, when infused with such vivid imagination, cannot distinguish between the present and the envisioned. As you feel success, taste joy, and breathe fulfillment, you begin to instruct your energy to vibrate at the frequency of completion. This sensory immersion invites coherence between thought, emotion, and vibration, a harmony that magnetizes the outer world to reflect your inner state. You become both the sculptor and the sculpture, shaping destiny through embodied presence. Over time, this morning ritual evolves into a language of resonance. It teaches your cells the song of gratitude and prepares your energy field for inevitable alignment with your desires. In this vibrational preparation, manifestation is no longer effortful but natural, an unfolding of what your consciousness has already rehearsed in stillness. Each dawn becomes not just the start of a new day, but a renewal of your creative power to shape reality from within. Chapter 9. The Alignment of Action. In a sunlit room filled with spiritual books, Louise sat cross-legged, highlighting passages about manifestation. Her shelves overflowed with wisdom, yet her dreams remained trapped between paper chapters. Each morning, she read about abundance, visualized success, and repeated affirmations, but her life stayed unchanged, like a painting forever waiting for its first brushstroke. The universe speaks through action. While thought plants the seed of creation, movement waters it into being. Your desires require more than mental attention. They hunger for physical demonstration. Each step you take sends ripples through the cosmic fabric, announcing your commitment to growth. Louise discovered this truth when winter's chill drove her to volunteer at a local shelter. Initially, she went simply to escape her apartment's stillness. As she served soup and shared smiles, something shifted. The warmth she gave returned multiplied, first in grateful eyes, then in unexpected ways. A guest at the shelter mentioned his marketing firm. Another spoke of investment opportunities. Within weeks, the connections she made while serving others opened doors her visualization alone had left closed. This is the sacred dance of manifestation. Giving initiates receiving. The universe mirrors your energy, not just your thoughts, but your actions. When you move with purpose, the cosmos responds with opportunity. Your physical engagement becomes a prayer in motion, more powerful than 1,000 silent wishes. The law works through paradox. The more you give of yourself, the more abundance flows toward you, not as transaction, but as natural law, like water finding its level, like light filling empty space. Every action carries energy, and aligned action amplifies your creative force. Take one small step daily toward your vision. Let each movement, however modest, signal your readiness to receive. Write that first page. Make that important call. Rearrange your space for what's coming. The size of the action matters less than its sincerity. The sacred practice. Each morning, perform one deliberate action that aligns with your highest vision. Before you begin, place your hand over your heart and whisper, "Through this action, I declare my readiness." Then move with purpose, knowing each step creates ripples in the infinite field of possibility. Let your movements become prayers, your actions become invitations for manifestation. Begin by ritualizing the moment so your nervous system recognizes it as sacred and repeatable. Hand over heart, breathe slowly for 4 cycles, and speak the declaration. Through this action, I declare my readiness. Let the words land in your body. Feel your sternum soften, your shoulders drop. Then choose one small, concrete action that clearly advances your highest vision. Send the pitch email, draft the opening paragraph, schedule the training session. The key is clarity over volume. A single, unskippable step, completed with full presence, does more to shape reality than a scattered hour of effort. As you move, translate intention into form. Walk deliberately, place your tools mindfully, and keep a light awareness on your heartbeat to anchor purpose. Treat the action as a prayer in motion. No rush, no dramatics, just steady devotion. If resistance appears, meet it with micro chops. Break the task into 2-minute slices and complete the first slice immediately. Close each slice with a tiny somatic seal. Press thumb to forefinger. Exhale through the nose to signal this is done to your body. These tactile cues teach your system to associate progress with calm, not strain. Complete the practice by creating ripples on purpose. Log the action in a simple readiness ledger. 3 columns, date, action, ripple noticed. Send one small signal to the world that matches your step. Share a learning, request feedback, or extend an offer. Then return your hand to your heart and acknowledge the shift you created. Gratitude in, tension out. Over days, these deliberate movements accumulate into identity-level evidence. I am the person who shows up. That identity hum becomes the magnet. Your actions, now prayers, quietly invite the manifestation you've already begun. Chapter 10. The Harmony of Purpose. In a quiet village, Walter wandered from position to position, his spirit restless as autumn leaves. Though skilled in many trades, nothing held his attention beyond fleeting moments. Each morning brought the same hollow sensation, a gnawing awareness that something essential remained missing. One dawn, as silence filled his meditation, a memory surfaced. The joy that had illuminated his face years ago when teaching his younger cousin to read. That spark of recognition in another's eyes had felt like sunlight breaking through clouds. Through the stillness came understanding. His greatest fulfillment had always emerged in moments of sharing wisdom. The universe speaks through alignment. When your actions flow from your deepest truth, resistance melts like morning frost. Every soul carries a unique vibration, a signature frequency that, when expressed, creates harmony with the cosmic dance. This frequency manifests as purpose, not a destination to reach, but an energy to embody. Purpose arises where personal passion meets universal service. It is the point where your greatest joy intersects with the world's deep need. When you align with this truth, the universe conspires to support your path. Doors open without effort, synchronicities multiply, and abundance flows naturally. Walter began offering free mentoring sessions at the local library. Each interaction felt like coming home. Time dissolved, energy expanded, and his spirit soared. Soon, word spread of the man whose guidance sparked transformation in others. Among his mentees was James, a young craftsman whose talent quickly blossomed beyond Walter's own skills. Where ego might have whispered jealousy, Walter felt only pure delight. James's growth confirmed a profound truth. When we serve from authentic purpose, our success multiplies through others. His students' achievement became living proof that aligned service creates endless ripples of abundance. This truth echoes through ages. Purpose is not a solitary pursuit, but a channel for universal energy. When you align with your soul's calling, you become a vessel for something greater than yourself. Success flows not from striving, but from surrendering to this natural current of service. Sacred practice. Find a quiet spot beneath the open sky where heaven meets earth. Breathe deeply into the space of your heart. Ask with pure intention, what part of me longs to serve? Let the question float like incense into the infinite. The answer will come not as thought, but as feeling, a gentle quickening, a subtle warmth, an inner knowing. When this whisper reaches you, honor it through action within one day's time. This sacred commitment aligns your energy with universal purpose, opening channels for divine flow. Part 2. The Alignment Phase. Chapter 11. The Shadow of Resistance. In a small coastal town, Rosalie's mornings began with a familiar litany of complaints. The coffee was too bitter, the neighbors too loud, the weather too damp. Each grievance flowed from her lips like a ritual, carving deeper grooves into her daily experience. The more she voiced her dissatisfaction, the more life seemed to conspire to provide reasons for complaint. The universe speaks in the language of resonance. Your words and thoughts are not mere expressions. They are magnetic frequencies drawing similar experiences toward you. When you resist what is, you unknowingly strengthen the very patterns you wish to change. Like a river meeting a dam, energy pools and stagnates where resistance lives. Resistance often wears the mask of wisdom. It whispers that criticism keeps you safe, that complaints protect you from disappointment. Yet this perceived protection becomes a prison, holding you captive in cycles of frustration. Each complaint reinforces the belief that life is against you, and the universe, in its perfect reflection, presents more situations that match this expectation. Your resistance carries wisdom beneath its thorny surface. When you feel pushed against something, pause and listen. That tension points toward beliefs asking for healing. Perhaps the bitter coffee speaks to unacknowledged bitterness in relationships. Maybe the noisy neighbors mirror internal chaos seeking peace. One afternoon, a thin gray cat appeared in Rosalie's garden. Its fur was matted, its eyes wide with distrust. Each time she approached, it darted away. Yet something in its fearful gaze touched her heart. Instead of forcing connection, she simply sat nearby day after day, offering gentle presence. Gradually, the cat's resistance softened. First, it stayed while she gardened. Then it accepted food from a distance. Finally, one quiet evening, it brushed against her leg, a moment of surrender that brought tears to her eyes. In that touch, Rosalie recognized her own pattern, how forcing change only strengthens walls, while patience dissolves them naturally. Ancient practice of release. When resistance appears in your day, pause. Name the irritation that troubles you. Rather than pushing it away, acknowledge its presence with these words. I bless this experience as my teacher. I release my resistance to its lesson. Feel the subtle shift as acceptance replaces struggle. This practice transforms resistance from barrier to bridge, revealing the growth hidden within each challenge. Chapter 12. The Dance of Synchronicity. A merchant named Hugh began noticing peculiar patterns in his daily life. Every morning his eyes would catch the clock at precisely 11:11. Sales would mysteriously total to $333, or customers would appear in groups of 3. At first he dismissed these occurrences as mere chance, fortifying his mind against their whispered meanings. The universe speaks in patterns, in rhythms that pulse beneath the surface of ordinary reality. These synchronicities, these moments of meaningful coincidence, serve as gentle taps on your spiritual shoulder. They are the universe's way of confirming your path, offering guidance when you stand at life's crossroads. Each number, each repeated pattern, carries a vibration that resonates with specific aspects of your journey. When you encounter these signs repeatedly, the universe is attempting to capture your attention, to draw your awareness to something requiring recognition or change. One stormy evening, Hugh found himself driving on unfamiliar roads, his GPS signal lost in the remote countryside. Anxiety crept in as darkness fell, until a song emerged through static on his radio, one his grandmother used to sing. Following an inexplicable urge, he turned down the road mentioned in its lyrics. This decision led him directly to a well-lit inn, exactly when he needed shelter most. That night taught Hugh that signs appear most clearly when logic reaches its limits. The universe had been preparing him through those small synchronicities, training his awareness to recognize guidance when it mattered most. His previous doubts dissolved in the face of such precise orchestration. This truth extends to you now. The signs you've been noticing, those recurring numbers, chance meetings, overheard conversations that seem oddly relevant, they're not random. They form a sacred language between you and the infinite intelligence that orchestrates all of creation. The ancient practice of sign recognition. Find a quiet moment each evening. Take a small notebook and record the patterns, numbers, or coincidences that crossed your path that day. Smile gently as you write each one, acknowledging its presence without forcing meaning. This simple act of recognition strengthens the bridge between your conscious awareness and the universe's guiding wisdom. As you practice this ritual, watch how the signs become clearer, more frequent, and more personally meaningful, like a conversation growing more intimate between trusted friends. Chapter 13. The Art of Receiving. In a quiet village among rolling hills, Martha tended her garden with loving care, sharing its bounty with everyone who passed. Her baskets overflowed with fresh vegetables, herbs, and flowers, gifts she freely offered to neighbors, strangers, and anyone in need. Yet beneath her generous spirit lay a peculiar resistance that disrupted the natural flow of abundance. When others attempted to return her kindness, a freshly baked loaf of bread, assistance with heavy tasks, or even heartfelt words of appreciation, Martha would wave away their offerings with practiced deflection. "Oh, I couldn't possibly," she'd say, or "Please, keep it for yourself." These gentle refusals created an invisible barrier, blocking the cosmic current of give and receive. The universe operates through perfect equilibrium, an eternal dance of giving and receiving. When you close one channel, you inadvertently restrict both. Each refusal of grace, no matter how small, sends ripples through the fabric of abundance, telling the universe you are not ready to receive its gifts. Martha's breakthrough arrived through Anna, a wise friend who understood this divine principle. When Martha delivered her usual basket of vegetables, Anna insisted on sharing her grandmother's cherished soup recipe in return. "By accepting," Anna explained softly, "you give me the gift of giving." These words penetrated Martha's heart, revealing the truth, that receiving with grace is as sacred as giving with love. In that moment of surrender, Martha felt an ancient tension release. She accepted the recipe with open hands and an open heart. Within days, unexpected blessings began flowing into her life, a surprise inheritance, an opportunity to teach gardening at the community center, and deeper connections with those around her. The universe, sensing her newfound receptivity, responded with abundant grace. This truth echoes through the ages. Receiving is not taking. It is participating in the cosmic dance of abundance. When you accept life's offerings, from the grandest gift to the smallest kindness, you align with the natural flow of universal energy. Practice today. Accept the smallest gift, a compliment, an offer, a helping hand, without protest. Whisper inwardly, I am worthy of ease. Expansion begins there. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 14. The Silence of Intuition. In the ancient streets of a timeless marketplace, Frank stood paralyzed before his merchant stall. Charts and scrolls of market predictions lay scattered around him, each promising the secret to success. Day after day, he analyzed patterns, studied trends, and plotted elaborate strategies. Yet prosperity remained elusive. One morning, before the sun touched the horizon, Frank sat in unusual stillness. The numbers and plans fell away like autumn leaves, revealing a simple truth that had whispered beneath his calculations all along. In that sacred moment, he understood that his endless strategizing had been drowning out his inner knowing. The universe speaks not through complexity, but through the gentle nudge of intuition. This voice of the soul requires no validation, no proof, no endless analysis. It arrives as a knowing deeper than thought, clearer than reason. When you align with this inner compass, the path illuminates itself without strain or struggle. Your analytical mind serves as a faithful servant but a poor master. True wisdom flows not from endless planning, but from the space between thoughts. In that quantum field of infinite possibility, your higher self already knows the perfect next step. Along a mountain path, a young hiker named Thomas discovered this truth through necessity. His trusted compass had shattered, leaving him lost in gathering dusk. Fear urged him to rush blindly forward, but something deeper beckoned him to pause. As he stood in stillness, the wind's subtle movement through the trees spoke to him in a language beyond words. Following this ethereal guidance, Thomas found himself safely back on the trail, led by something more reliable than any mechanical device. This tale mirrors an eternal truth. When you release the need to figure everything out, solutions arise naturally. The universe's intelligence flows through you most clearly in moments of surrender. Your intuition connects you to this cosmic wisdom, translating it into feelings, nudges, and quiet certainties. Sacred practice. Before any decision, create 2 minutes of complete silence. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Let questions float in your mind without grasping for answers. Notice the sensations in your body. Among the responses that arise, seek the one that brings a wave of peace, not the excitement of ego or the contraction of fear. This peaceful knowing is your intuition speaking, your direct line to universal wisdom. Follow this practice daily and watch as your path unfolds with graceful certainty. Chapter 15. The Cleansing of Thought. In a small cottage at the edge of town lived Dottie, whose mind buzzed like a hive of restless bees. Each morning brought a fresh swarm of worries. What if I'm not good enough? Why hasn't success arrived yet? Am I on the wrong path? These thoughts circled endlessly, casting shadows over her days even when sunshine streamed through her windows. The universe operates through crystal-clear channels. Like water flowing through pipes, your manifestations travel along the pathways of your thoughts. When these channels become clogged with mental debris, even the most powerful intentions struggle to reach their destination. Your mind, in its natural state, mirrors the pristine clarity of a mountain lake, reflecting truth without distortion. Every thought carries a vibration. Those that cycle repeatedly become your dominant frequency, attracting experiences that match their tone. Mental clutter isn't merely uncomfortable, it actively shapes your reality. By allowing your mind to overflow with anxious chatter, you unconsciously broadcast a signal of chaos to the universe, which faithfully returns more situations that perpetuate mental noise. One autumn afternoon, Dottie decided to clear her dusty attic. As she sorted through old boxes and swept away cobwebs, something unexpected occurred. With each physical space she cleared, her mind grew quieter. After removing the last piece of clutter, she sat in the now empty attic and experienced a moment of pure mental silence. In that stillness, inspiration flowed effortlessly. Creative solutions and fresh opportunities she hadn't noticed before suddenly became apparent. This simple act of clearing space carries profound wisdom. Your outer world mirrors your inner landscape. Just as Dottie's cluttered attic had blocked the flow of fresh air and light, mental congestion blocks the flow of universal energy. When you release mental debris, you create space for divine inspiration to enter. The ritual of mental purification need not be complex. Find a quiet moment each day. Take a single piece of paper and write down one persistent thought that clouds your mind. Hold the paper in your hands and say, "I release you with gratitude for your lesson." Then dispose of the paper, feeling the thought dissolve into nothingness. The empty space left behind becomes fertile ground where new possibilities can take root. Through this practice, you'll discover that most mental noise is simply habit rather than truth. As you clear away these thought patterns one by one, your natural state of clarity emerges. In this pristine mental environment, manifestations flow with ease, and the universe's whispers become clear as crystal. Chapter 16. The Pulse of Emotions. In the heart of a bustling metropolis, Harrison clutched his smile like armor, forcing brightness into every interaction. Behind closed doors, tears threatened to breach his careful defenses, yet he pushed them away, believing that spiritual evolution meant perpetual joy. Each suppressed feeling became a stone in his heart, weighing down his manifestations with invisible resistance. The universe speaks through every emotion, whispering wisdom in the language of feeling. When you deny sadness, anger, or fear, you reject the sacred messages carried within their depths. These emotions rise not to harm, but to heal, each one bearing a gift of understanding wrapped in temporary discomfort. Your feelings are neither positive nor negative. They are frequencies of awareness, each vibrating with purpose. Joy illuminates your path toward desires, while sadness reveals what needs release. Anger points to boundaries requiring respect, and fear highlights areas awaiting growth. In this light, emotional mastery means not control, but conversation, a flowing dialogue between your human experience and divine wisdom. One evening, Harrison wandered into a small theater where a solitary dancer moved across an empty stage. Her performance flowed like water, from explosive joy to deep sorrow, from fierce strength to gentle surrender. Each emotion passed through her body like weather through the sky, leaving no residue, claiming no permanence. In her dance, Harrison witnessed true emotional alchemy, the art of allowing feelings to rise and fall naturally, without judgment or attachment. The dancer's movements taught what words could not, that resistance to any emotion creates stagnation, while acceptance creates flow. She didn't choose between light and shadow. She danced with both, transforming each gesture into pure expression. Through her art, Harrison glimpsed the possibility of living fully, embracing both sunshine and rain as essential elements of growth. Your journey toward manifestation flourishes not through forced positivity, but through authentic presence with all that arises. When you honor each feeling as a messenger, you clear the channel through which abundance flows. Every tear acknowledged becomes a drop of healing. Every fear faced becomes a stepping stone to courage. Sacred practice. When emotions surge, whether gentle or intense, place your hand upon your chest. Feel the warmth of your own touch as you say aloud, "I allow you." Let this simple ritual become your bridge between resistance and acceptance. In allowing, you'll discover that emotions, like clouds, naturally dissolve when given space to move. This practice restores your natural state of flow, where manifestation occurs with ease. Chapter 17. The Circle of Forgiveness. In a small coastal town, Nora tended her garden with meticulous care, yet inside her heart, a different kind of garden grew wild with thorns. Each morning, she watered her roses while nursing memories of betrayal from 5 years past, when her closest friend had stolen both her business idea and her potential investors. The weight of this memory cast shadows across every new friendship, every opportunity, dimming the light of possibility that once shone so brightly in her eyes. The universe speaks through patterns, and your emotional state creates the frequency that attracts your experiences. When you hold on to past hurts, you unknowingly broadcast that same frequency into your future. This spiritual principle remains unchanging. Forgiveness is not about condoning actions that caused pain. It is about freeing yourself from the energetic chains that bind you to that moment in time. Think of emotion as water. When it flows freely, it nurtures and sustains life. When it stagnates, it becomes toxic, poisoning everything around it. Resentment is such a pool of stagnant water in your energetic field, blocking the fresh streams of abundance trying to reach you. Walking through the ancient forest near her home, Nora witnessed nature's wisdom unfold before her. A mighty oak tree caught her attention. One of its branches, diseased and heavy, had naturally separated from the trunk. The tree made no dramatic display of its release. It simply allowed what no longer served its growth to fall away. In that moment of observation, Nora understood. The tree remained strong not by clinging to its damaged parts, but by releasing them with grace. This simple act of nature mirrors the profound truth about forgiveness. It is not a sacrifice, but a surrender, not weakness, but wisdom. The oak tree teaches us that letting go is not loss, but liberation, allowing space for new growth, new life, new possibilities. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. One by one, bring to mind those who have caused you pain. Envision each person surrounded by soft, healing light. Don't force feelings of forgiveness. Simply observe them in this light until you feel the sharp edges of resentment begin to soften into neutrality. Remember, neutrality is the fertile soil from which new beginnings grow. Chapter 18. The Glow of Compassion. In a bustling marketplace, Dexter rushed past a fallen fruit vendor, his mind consumed with reaching an important meeting. Yet something made him pause. Not conscience, but an inexplicable magnetic pull. Turning back, he found himself helping gather scattered oranges, each one an opportunity to share a moment of connection. This simple act awakened a profound truth. Compassion operates as a cosmic current, flowing through all beings. When you recognize yourself in another's eyes, you tap into the infinite stream of abundance that sustains all life. The universe speaks in the language of unity. Every act of kindness creates ripples in the fabric of existence, expanding outward in endless circles of reciprocity. Your compassion is not merely emotion, it is energy in motion, dissolving the illusion of separation that blocks manifestation. When you withhold compassion, you construct barriers against your own good. The universal flow cannot reach a closed heart, but when you allow yourself to feel the pulse of shared humanity, you align with life's natural tendency toward wholeness and healing. 3 days after helping the fruit vendor, Dexter found himself lost in an unfamiliar part of town. A stranger appeared, offering not just directions, but also a connection that led to an unexpected business partnership. The universe had reflected his compassion back to him, multiplied. This is not coincidence but cosmic law. What you extend returns expanded. Compassion creates channels through which abundance flows naturally. Every time you choose to see through eyes of unity rather than separation, you weave stronger connections in the web of manifestation. The fruit vendor and the helpful stranger were mirrors, showing Dexter that all beings are waves in the same ocean. Their stories remind us that each compassionate moment ripples outward, touching shores we cannot see. Ancient practice. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Envision someone who may be struggling, known or unknown to you. Imagine soft golden light flowing from your heart to theirs. Feel this light expanding, encompassing both of you in its warm radiance. As you send this healing energy, notice how it naturally circles back, filling you with serene clarity. This practice dissolves the illusion of separation and attunes your frequency to universal abundance. Chapter 19. The Magnet of Belief. A young woman named Hazel sat before her bedroom mirror, her reflection clouded by tears of frustration. Each morning she would wake to ambitious plans, yet by nightfall those dreams would scatter like autumn leaves in the wind. No matter how diligently she worked or how precisely she followed others' advice, success remained just beyond her grasp. "Why does everything I touch turn to dust?" she whispered to her reflection. In that moment of raw honesty, the truth emerged. Deep within her heart lay the belief that she was unworthy of abundance. The universe speaks in the language of belief. Your thoughts may plant seeds, but your beliefs are the soil in which they grow. When you hold fast to the idea that you don't deserve success, you construct invisible barriers that even the most powerful intentions cannot breach. Each belief becomes a command to the cosmos, shaping reality with the precision of an artist's chisel. One crisp morning, Hazel wandered into an old glass-blowing studio. There, she watched in wonder as an artisan named Thomas worked with molten glass. As he shaped each piece, he spoke to it with tender words. "You are becoming something beautiful. You hold infinite potential. Through you, light will dance." Thomas turned to Hazel and shared, "Glass remembers the energy you give it. Speak to it with doubt, and it becomes brittle. Address it with love, and it flows like water." His weathered hands cradled a luminous vessel that seemed to glow from within. The same is true of life itself. In that moment, Hazel understood. Her beliefs had been shaping her reality as surely as Thomas shaped his glass. Each "I can't" and "I don't deserve" had hardened into walls around her potential. The path to transformation begins with recognition that your beliefs are not facts. They are choices. Like a glassblower's breath gives form to molten glass, your beliefs mold the raw material of possibility into experience. Ancient practice of belief alchemy. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and place both hands over your heart. 3 times daily, at sunrise, noon, and sunset, speak these words with the certainty of one who knows their truth. My life rises to match my belief in it. Feel each word resonating through your being, like ripples across still water. Let this declaration reshape the invisible architecture of your reality. Chapter 20. The Flow of Detachment. In a small coastal village, Milton spent his days crafting detailed plans for every conceivable outcome. His calendar burst with color-coded schedules, and his desk overflowed with backup strategies for his backup strategies. Each morning began with updating his meticulously organized planning system, leaving no moment to chance. Yet despite his exhaustive preparation, success remained elusive, dancing just beyond his grasp. The universe speaks through exhaustion when wisdom fails to penetrate through other means. One evening, after 18 hours of strategic planning, Milton's body simply refused to continue. His usual sharp mind turned foggy, and his carefully arranged papers blurred before his eyes. In that moment of complete surrender, a profound peace washed over him. For the first time in years, he sat in silence, too tired to plan, too weary to worry. The law of attraction operates with elegant simplicity. What you resist persists. Your relentless